I'm Jenna and today I'm going to be reviewing Fangirl by Rowell. So I'd never heard of Rowell before or any of her books. I was in the old Waterstones in Birmingham that's now got turned into an Apple store. And it had just come out and I was looking around and I read the blurb and I was like, this is everything. This is all the things. This is how I feel as a fangirl, as somebody who reads fan fiction. I felt like the book was calling to me. So I had to buy it instantly, obviously. Fangirl is about twin Katha, who goes to university for the first time. She is also a big fan of the Simon Snow series, which is really based on the Harry Potter series in a lot of ways. So she's writing a fanfiction, an epic fanfiction called Carry On, which is more words than many of the books. I love it in the book. There are inserts in there of fanfictions that Kath has written with. So she's Magicath, which I love, and she occasionally writes with her sister Ren. So she's Renegade with a W, very cool. And they relate to kind of what's happening in the book as little experts. I love it when books do this. It's one of my favourite things that books do. It gives it you get an additional part of the world that then relates to the book and the story that's happening. It is one of my favourite storytelling devices, which I love. So there are several other characters in the book. There's Regan, Kath's roommate. She is brilliant. I love their relationship. It's so different from most relationships that you see in books. They're not completely reliant on each other, but Regan feels like she needs to be there for Kath. And it's just this really honest, sweet relationship that they work together and they are very, very different. So they almost force themselves to be friends. They have to set ground rules and they have to move forward, and they make the decision to be friends because they could very easily not be. They're not instantly connected in any way. They make the decision to be friends and work on that. And I think it's a really, really nice thing to see. My other favourite thing about the book is Ren and Katha's dads. I love his story. I love the way it's portrayed. He's a bipolar depressive, and it is really written in a really great way. You see the negative effect that his depression and his illness has on his family, and the way that it has affected his daughters, but you also see him as a person and that he's loved and cared for, and he works hard to try and do better for himself, and he puts things in place to try and help himself. It's a really beautiful story between Kath and her dad and how they work together and how Kath is so scared that she's going to be like that at the same time wanting to be there for her dad constantly. It's really, really lovely. It's one of the nicest relationships you see between parents and children in young adult fiction, and it just feels very honest and real. And then there's the relationship between Katha and Ren, which they're twins, they're best friends, they do everything together, and then they go to university and Ren is like, oh, I'm gonna go off on my own now, I'm gonna be my own person. And her and Ren, Katha and Ren, they don't talk as much, they're not together as much. It's a lovely sisterhood relationship that has to then progress itself. As made for adult fiction, it has a love story, and I love love stories. Love stories are the best. So there are three boys in the book. Abel, who Ren describes as a table. Nick, who's her writing partner, and then there is Levi, the older, cool guy, who's very good. I don't want to go too much into the romance because I kind of want you to read it. I want you to see it. The only thing I would say about it is sometimes when there are romantic moments and there's gonna have this really cute build up of relationship, I'm also a bit like, yeah, but get back to the other story. So I love romance and I love the romance in the book, but sometimes when I'm reading it I'm just like, okay, I want to get past this bit so that I can get back into the rest of the story. I'm a bit impatient sometimes and it's just romance. I like writing it and I love watching it, but sometimes reading it I want to get back to the rest of the plot. I love this book so much. As you can see, I think I've read it 4 times. It's a bit beaten up now, unfortunately. I move around a lot, so my books get put into boxes a lot. I think one thing I like about the book is the size of it. It can be intimidating. It's quite a thick book and it can feel intimidating, but the words are pretty nicely spread out on the page for people who are a bit worried, and it's really easy to read. It doesn't... You can read it without going, oh my gosh, I'm taking up so much brain power to try and, like, understand what's going on, things like that. There are some books that, you know, while they're brilliant and wonderful, Lord of the Rings, I'm looking at you. They're hard to read. You have to really focus. This book isn't like that. So I can know that sometimes I can see a book like this thick and go, oh my gosh, that's quite a lot of reading. You know, if you maybe have trouble reading or anything like that, I would really, really recommend this book. And if you like Fangirl and read it already, I do recommend going over to Yulin Kwan's channel, and she's done a great series called I Didn't Write This, where she records small scenes adapted from the book. If there is a film of Fangirl, it just needs to be her directing. It just needs to be Miley Kate Wiles playing Kath and Denver Milord playing Levi, and it's just such a beautiful scene. The script is pulled directly from the book and it is exactly how I pictured it, so I really, really recommend going over there and checking out her channel. Okay, I've been Jenna. I post new book review videos on Sundays. You can also follow me on Instagram, where I post behind the scene videos, and on Twitter, where I post a short trailer for the coming up video. November is NaNoWriMo, which I will be taking part in this month. I will also be posting videos on Wednesdays, just going over my story and how I've gone through and updating on my progress. It's mainly to try and keep me in line. So I hope you all have a great November, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye!